Imagine a small town on the Atlantic coast, where the air smells of fresh bread from the local bakery and the narrow stone streets sparkle with rain. Here, among the modest houses and the hustle and bustle of the port, a barefoot boy runs, holding an old, worn ball in his hands. His name is Cristiano Ronaldo. And even then, even in this simple, almost poor world, he dreamed of big stadiums, of moments when the whole world would be watching him, and of that feeling when the ball flies exactly into the goal. This story is not only about football, it is about strength of spirit, about belief in oneself, about turning a small beginning into a world legend. And in the end, you will understand that Cristiano's lessons can be applied to any life. Cristiano was born into a simple family where money was scarce, and sometimes even bread was scarce. His father worked as a gardener and cook, his mother as a cook in a small restaurant. And Cristiano spent mornings and evenings chasing a ball with friends through the narrow streets or on the dusty field near the port. The soft sounds of the waves and the cries of seagulls mixed with the roar of ships and old plastic bottles served as gates. He ran barefoot, fell, got up and ran again, not knowing that this was where the foundation of his greatness was being laid. Cristiano's first steps in football were very simple, but full of passion. His first club, Andorrinha, was small, with cramped locker rooms, where the walls smelled of sweat and old wood. And although he was the smallest among his peers, the weakest physically, his eyes shone with incredible stubbornness. Every kick at the ball was a lesson in discipline, every fall a reminder that you can't stop. But it was then, at an early age, that he faced his first serious challenge. His small stature and fragile physique made him a target for criticism. "You'll never be great," said coaches, classmates laughed, and some parents doubted his future. For many, this could have been the end of a dream, but for Cristiano it was fuel. Every criticism, every defeat, was etched in his heart and turned into a determination to work even harder, to become stronger, faster, better. Already at this time, he was taking the first symbolic steps towards his future. Early training before sunrise, mini-dieting, watching older players, and studying their movements. Even the small details, how to touch the ball correctly, how to keep balance, how to run after a kick, became part of his big dream. And although the stadiums were still very far away, and the world did not know his name, confidence was already growing inside the boy. He was not just playing football. He was preparing to change it. This phase of Cristiano's life teaches us one simple yet powerful lesson. Even if the beginning is humble, even if the world around us says impossible, inner passion and perseverance can create the foundation for something grand. And the first step, even a small and imperceptible one, can be the beginning of a great legend. Imagine yourself training in the pouring rain, the cold wind hitting your face, your feet sliding on the slippery grass, and your coach telling you that you'll never get better. That's when real strength is built. When Cristiano Ronaldo grew up and joined the sporting club, he faced his first serious challenge. It seemed that the whole world was against him. His small stature, his fragile physique, his fast opponents, the critical views of his coaches. In every match, he felt that he had to prove his worth, and he often lost. There were many first defeats, and they felt like. One day, after an important match, Cristiano was the last to leave the field. He heard the coach's screams, the whispers of the spectators, the sad looks of his teammates. He knew he wasn't strong enough, fast enough, skillful enough. It was a real crisis, an internal struggle between the desire to give up and the desire to win. But it is in these moments that legends are born. He began training outside of his schedule when other children were already asleep. At 6 a.m., he would run through empty stadiums, his kicks bouncing off the walls and echoing back to him, a call to work harder. His body grew, his muscles strengthened, and his mind filled with confidence. Every defeat became a lesson. Speed is not just about legs. it is also about thinking. Strength is not just about muscles. It is also about determination. Discipline is not just about training. It is also about a way of life. The first injuries were also a test. When he fell on the field and felt pain in his leg, instead of crying or giving up, he used that pain as fuel. Each recovery from an injury strengthened not only his body, but also his character. These defeats and moments of crisis showed him that the great path is not easy, that success is not a gift, but the result of a constant struggle. Little victories began to appear. The first goal in a professional game, the first compliment from a coach, the first sign that his work was bearing fruit. These moments were like a ray of light in the darkness. They gave him faith that everything he did had meaning. This part of Cristiano's life teaches us an important principle. Crises are not the end, but the beginning of transformation. They can break the weak, but they make the strong even stronger. Every failure is a lesson. Every pain is a training for the spirit. And even if it seems like the whole world is against you right now, it is this confrontation that shapes your future greatness. Imagine the moment when you first hear the stands burst into applause and your heart beats faster than the ball. That's when self-belief is born. After numerous defeats and trials at sporting, Cristiano Ronaldo finally began to feel the fruits of his hard work. Every training session on an empty pitch, every morning spent on the treadmill until sunrise, began to bear fruit. His body became stronger, his speed and accuracy improved, and most importantly, his mind developed an unshakable belief. He could become the best. The first professional contract opened a new world for him. It was a small step, but a colossal emotional leap. Every piece of paper signed, every goal in the youth team became proof that his dreams were beginning to materialize. The first professional game. He smelled the turf, heard the whistle of the stands, felt his heart clench with excitement and joy at the same time. When the ball flew into the goal for the first time, his eyes shone with happiness, and he realized, all this is just the beginning. This period was full of symbolic steps. A change of jersey number, new boots, the first compliment from the coach, little things that are imperceptible to many, but for him, they became signs of transformation. He felt that he was moving in the right direction and that a world of great opportunities was opening its doors to him. But not everything was easy. Competition with peers, constant pressure from coaches, the first critical articles in the press. All this forced him to work even harder. He realized that talent was not enough. Discipline, self-control, and a desire to improve every day were needed. Every small success became a springboard for the next, and defeats no longer stopped him, but encouraged him to move on. This stage taught him the main lesson. Small victories lay the foundation for a great future. He understood that greatness does not appear immediately. It is formed through hard work, through morning training, through self-improvement every day. And it was here that the strength of his character was laid, which later allowed him to conquer the world's stadiums and become a legend. Imagine an empty stadium at 6 a.m., filled only with your breathing and the sound of the ball hitting the turf. That's where champions are born. After Cristiano Ronaldo's first successes, he realized that talent was just the beginning. To become the best, he had to completely change himself. He began to work on his body, mind, and character. The physical transformations were incredible: training twice a day, a strict diet, giving up any weaknesses. Every day, he became faster, stronger, and more resilient. Every drop of sweat was an investment in his future. This period was filled with bold and symbolic decisions. He changed his style of play, honed his shooting with both feet, worked on his speed and technique, and all this not for the coach or the media, but for himself. Cristiano made a conscious choice. He is not just a player. He is a leader in the formation of his own legend. The scenes of these transformations are memorable. Empty training grounds. Only the lights illuminate the field. a heart beating so loudly that it seems that the whole world can hear it. Every step is a challenge to himself. Every kick is a promise that he will not stop. Loud statements in the club, interviews, the first big matches. All this became a symbol of a new level of ambition. But the real transformation wasn't just physical. He learned to manage his emotions, focus on his goals, and turn crises into fuel. Every injury, every criticism, every defeat became a lesson, not an obstacle. It was the moment when the little boy from Madeira turned into a man who could shape his own destiny. An important lesson of this stage: a true leader creates himself, turning weaknesses into strengths and always striving for improvement. Here are laid the principles that guide not only in football, but in any life: discipline, dedication, the courage to go beyond the usual. This great transformation became the foundation for the next stage, a global breakthrough, when the whole world would recognize the name Cristiano Ronaldo and see him at the top of world football. After a great deal of self-discipline and transformation, Cristiano Ronaldo finally got the chance that changed everything. The transfer to Manchester United was his big breakthrough. Every step on the pitch felt like a challenge, every match like a test of fate. He quickly adapted to a new environment, new coaches, and new expectations. But instead of fear, he felt a burning desire to prove to everyone. He was born to achieve great things. In Madrid, at Real Madrid, Cristiano became a true icon. Every goal, every trick, and every pass he made were moments of magic that left fans speechless and opponents in awe. Crowded stands, the buzz of cameras, media, interviews. He learned not only to play, but also to lead the game, to be a leader and a symbol for the team. When he moved to Juventus, he took another risk, leaving the comfort and glory of Spain for a new challenge. Here he showed that true greatness comes from daring to step outside of one's comfort zone. And even in a new league, against new opponents, he never lost his nerve, and every goal and every victory was proof of his invincible character. This period in Cristiano's life shows an important lesson. Great victories require the courage to go beyond the usual and take risks. Every transfer, every new club, every defeat along the way is an opportunity to grow and become even stronger. The scenes of this global breakthrough are unforgettable. He lifts the Champions League trophy in Madrid. The screams of thousands of fans echo throughout the stadium. The cameras flash in all directions, and he feels that all those early defeats, training on empty pitches, criticism, and injuries were just preparation for this moment. This part of life teaches us that true greatness is born from patience, constant work, and the ability to boldly step into something new, even when the whole world is waiting for your mistakes. Every victory is not the end of the road, but a new start for even greater achievements. Imagine standing on a field where thousands once applauded, but now every step is discussed by the world, and even one swing of the ball under the watchful eye of cameras can become a reason for criticism. After decades of greatness, Cristiano Ronaldo faced a new challenge: time and younger opponents. The same cheers from the stands that had once inspired him were now mixed with media criticism, fan doubts, and comparisons to younger stars. He felt his body no longer responding as quickly, and injuries were becoming more noticeable. But it was during this period that Ronaldo showed true strength of spirit. Every injury turned into fuel for self-improvement. New training, careful recovery, control of nutrition, all this became his new discipline. He understood that even at the peak of his career, you can't stop, because the world does not stand still, and every day is a struggle for your own legend. Challenges became motivation for new goals: mentoring young players, building his own brand, charity. He became a symbol that true greatness is not only in goals and trophies, but also in the ability to pass on experience, inspire, and leave a mark. Every interview, Every match and every training day was confirmation that the courage to adapt and work beyond the limits is the key to long-term success. This part of his life shows an important lesson. Success is not only about victories, but also about the ability to remain strong in the face of time, criticism, and new challenges. A true champion is not afraid of aging and competition. He uses them as a motivator for new growth. The scenes from this period are memorable. He trains when the stadium is empty, his face full of concentration, the cameras flashing, his heart pounding with determination to keep his form. Every kick of the ball is a reminder that even legends don't stop. And here lies the lesson for each of us. Never stop, even when you think you've reached the top. Challenges are a chance to become even better and inspire others by your example. Imagine the world watching you not just for your goals, but for who you have become and what you can pass on to future generations. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo is not just a footballer. He is a symbol of hard work, discipline, and dedication to his dream. His journey from a little boy from Madeira to a world legend inspires millions. But even at the top, he does not stop. His life is now a balance between personal challenges, family, charity, and mentoring young players. He has learned that true impact is not just about goals and trophies, but about the ability to inspire and leave a legacy. In training, he no longer just plays. He sets an example, mentors, shares experiences, passes on the values he himself has acquired through many years of struggle. Every decision he makes today is symbolic. His choice of club, his work with young people, his involvement in charity, all of this shapes a story that will be remembered long after he leaves the field. This stage of life reminds us of the most important lessons. Start small, dream big, quality above all else, adapt quickly, turn crisis into fuel, lead, don't follow. All of these principles have been evident in his career, and they work equally well in any life. The scenes of today are vivid. He stands on the training pitch, young players watching him. He raises the trophy, smiles at his family in the stands, and the world watches and is inspired. Every moment is full of symbolism. He has gone from a barefoot boy on the narrow streets of Madeira to a global legend, and now his story serves as a beacon for those who dream, who fight, who don't give up. And finally, this story is not just about Cristiano Ronaldo, but about each of us. True success is the courage to change, to work on yourself and move forward, even when it seems that the world is against you. He taught us that greatness does not come by chance. It is formed in morning workouts, in defeats, in risks, and in the ability to never stop.